morning. Sunday morning. Paul Case here, feeding the calves on the hill. Done fed the ones on the bottom. These not being very cooperative this morning. They stand right around the feeder so close I could not get the hay put in the feeder. Maybe it's me. But they're all up in here, looks like. That feeder was more than half full, and they've done that to that, and they've eaten that much of that round bale. Since yesterday evening about 4 o'clock. So I think they might have caught up on just about all the green stuff to graze that there is in this. Oh, I don't know what it is, maybe a 20-acre trap. Sunday morning, the Weather Channel says it's, or KOAM says it's 31 degrees. Mildred started fine though. Mildred always starts good. There's my 7 calves eating over there. I got one's got a sore foot. Then I spread some stuff on it, but it's up on the ankle. His ankle's swelled up. Especially up on the hill, it's working fine for these down here too, but up on the hill there's some of them bigger calves that go in there, get all the feed. The little ones wouldn't get none. Well, it falls down in that square bale hay and they have more time getting it. That brown four-wheeler wouldn't start yesterday morning. I had to pull the rope. I got Mildred set up here. I try to get my Sunday morning chores set up a little better to where I don't have so much extra to do on Sunday morning. And I got Mildred started when I got in here to get the feed for those calves. Yeah, I know it's not a very big group of calves, but it's all ours. We're all homegrown, as either mine or Scott's or Dakota's. Grown on the Case Ranch here. And as a matter of fact, it's been long enough ago now that probably all those calves were out of cows that were raised here. We buy our bulls and bring them in, but we raise our own replacement heifers. I'm looking for next year to be a little bit bigger. I've just been trying, last year's the first year I did any keeping calves back for backgrounding purposes, get them a little bigger before I sold them. And it worked out good. See, there was we come ahead about $250 a head by keeping them another year, and don't cost quite $1 a day to keep them if you got good grass. And I'm still, even this year, a little short on cow numbers, and our hay is kind of long, so I've got, it's almost, let's see, what is today? It's 26th of January, and I haven't fed 50 round bales of hay, and I've got, I had 150 of them maybe put in the barn. So, and they'll keep good in the barn. I've had some in there for 3 years that kept just fine. They didn't weather at all, of course, and they was still just as tall, and the insides of them was just as green when I took them out as it was when I put them in there. I said we're gonna have a couple dry days, and I'm looking forward to that. Give us very little chances of rain today and tomorrow. I won't be doing my chores tomorrow. Dakota will be. Scott and I are going to Oklahoma Baptist State Evangelism Conference. They're renaming it, but it's going to be State Evangelism Conference for me. Or just stay for the day tomorrow. But we'll have to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then we probably won't be back till, if we stay for all of the last deal, we probably won't be back till about midnight. Sometimes they get done about 8:30. Sometimes they don't. I have left down there as late as 9:30. It'll be 1 o'clock in the morning when you get back home. Anyway, sun's shining. It's going to be a good morning this morning. I know when I turn, sometimes it looks like the picture is going to show up as good, but I need to get a video up. It's been early last week since I had one. Haven't been doing all that much that's very interesting. Still working on my LX885 some. And trying to fix fuel leaks. The line that I had on there, it was definitely leaking, but we got a fix on it. But that wasn't a place that was leaking the worst, because it's still leaking. Yeah, you might have guessed it's a little rough along here. They almost cleaned up everything they gave me yesterday. I got more cows out here than what it should take to clean up a bale of hay for a day. I got to get a hold of this bale so that I can unroll it. Looks like it's going to be an easy one if I keep my foot on the clutch. And then if I can get anywhere near the middle on it. It's not as easy as you'd think. When you look into a mirror, for anybody that don't know, it's much more difficult to see three-dimensional in a mirror. And I'm not in the middle of it yet. That may be a little closer. I don't just unroll a whole bale all in one strip. These here bales that we make come unrolled pretty easy. This is first cutting hay. You get very much second cutting. And so when I'm unrolling these, I skip a spot. And I had took the strings off of this and in the barn, had a hold of it to where it would all stay together, but quite a little bit of it's now on the back of my pickup, so we'll have to get out and brush that off. This is our last little dash of it, maybe. You hear that thump thump, that's when the spinners are still in the bale, but they're rolling over and hitting the ground. So we let her go right there, and we're gonna get out and clean it off here. That one unrolled pretty good. I guess I did finally get it plumb in the middle. It won't be long till we got green grass if we don't get covered up with snow. And I'll tell you how I know. Just so you can look down here, you see my rubber boot in the grass. That's how tall the grass is. And if you look, there's green grass poking up through there. It's had the tops of the ends of the leaves is brown because they've been frostbit. If it ever quits biting them with frost, every other night we'll have grass growing for these cows. They'll still need some hay along until it gets enough goody to it. See how small I got that bale unrolled down to. A friend of mine at church is needing a pair of hip hooks, so Pastor my dad's jack. I don't have a jack, high lift jack anymore. But my dad made a set of hip hooks. You make 2 of those deals right there. And you set it up to where you put them on the high lift jack. See if I can get you set up here so I can do this and show you. You put them on the high lift jack. They just slip over the shaft on it. Like that right there, on each side. It's fixed up to where you can get one of them on each side of a cow's hip, put a bolt through here, jack the jack in some to tighten it up, and then when you get to that point, you can put a chain up in the middle of it, pick it up. You got an old cow that's down, you can help her stand up with them. Sometimes old cows have trouble staying mobile when they get really heavy with a calf, stuff such as that. So anyway, Steve's got a cow down. He's gonna use my hip hooks. Put my arms back away. So we got the bed cleaned off. Dad made a set of them and then he loaned them out. Actually, if I remember right, he loaned them out maybe with my jack. And then he couldn't remember who he loaned them to, and he needed a pair of hip hooks, and he had to make another pair. And I finally came back with my jack, if I remember right. I don't ever remember that guy kept my jack forever, but I think they finally came back. There's a couple of these 2 here are kind of older cows, and they have I've got some ground up there where we keep our bulls. Don't have anything on it for this summer. I'm thinking I'm gonna put, I got a little dab of them older cows. I'm gonna put them up there, maybe put a bull with them. Go ahead and breed them, and they may go to town. I've got, I'll have 10 more first calf heifers next year, and I believe there's 15 first calf heifers in this group. Again, so you can see them all. I'm really, I've been into it for a long time, but I'm into pasture improvement, trying to make things better in my pasture. And there's some ways you can do that help yourself. When I was growing up, we never had any Bermuda grass here, and if you're watching this video, you see on the ground there's dead Bermuda grass everywhere. It looks like it's growed up and gone to waste, but it's really not gone to waste. They did not eat it all because that Bermuda grass grows so fast at the end of its life cycle every year. And Bermuda grass, if it has that cover left on it like that, where they didn't eat it all, helps it come back the next year, and it'll come back better the next year. But the way we got Bermuda grass started over here was not through sprigging, but it was through fertilizing and feeding Bermuda grass hay. We used to get a bunch of really good Bermuda grass hay that have seed in it from a couple of different places that we baled when we baled custom. And they would do shares hay with us, and we would get to bring some of their hay home and feed it better hay than what we could make around here close. And we had cattle on everything when we were doing that. Dad at one time had about 100 head of cows. We'd feed that hay out. Some of the ground, this ground here, my dad started buying back in late 70s, maybe early 80s. So we've had it a long time. I know he had it late 70s. Mom was bush hogging this field my first day of kindergarten in 1979, and she hit a rock with the mower. It was really dry. She hit a rock with the mower and set it on fire, and they burned this field by accident on my first day of kindergarten. And she was about 2 hours late coming to pick me up my first day of kindergarten. And so I know they had this back then. Bought it from the guy that used to live up there where that Coca-Cola trailer house is. And he kept 2 acres, and now he's retired, moved to town, and he passed away about a year ago. His wife's still living. This was his family's farm, 40 acres. But anyway, that's kind of how that works. But we've done a bunch of pasture improvement, and I've been fertilizing this since we haven't been growing chickens. I try to make sure I get this fertilized because this is a mainstay for my cows. They get some of the pasture, but these 2 fields over the tops of these 2 hills is the big end of their pasture. So I try to make sure I get it fertilized real good. And I say real good. I don't never put on 200 pounds the acre. I try to get at least 100. And I spray it. And spraying it's been a big deal. There's been times when you come down through here in the summertime when things are growing, and in this field right here, you could see some spots that I missed when I was spraying because they'd be a patch where there's just weeds growing up. And so I know I've done quite a bit of good with my spraying, made it to where it may be more of a sterile environment where it's all one kind of grass growing, or just grass growing and not weeds for them to browse on. But those weeds are kind of invasive. If you let them go to seed, they'll cover everything up, and then the grass down underneath can't grow. And those weeds also pull a lot of nutrients and water out of the ground. So I know I have better pasture through the summertime by spraying that. And a lot of people want to say, well, I only got enough money to do one or the other. We'll fix you up a sprayer and go to spray it, and you're going to see results. And I think that's pretty good advice. Well, this has been feeding the cows Sunday morning before church. If I can get up and do my chores before church, anybody can. I ain't nothing special. So today my advice to you is get up and go to church. Thanks for watching my videos. We'll talk to y'all later. Catch you on the next one.